What is up, guys? Wombadger here, and today's video I've got 10 cases that'll be brought before you in the little judgment mini game in the game, and these are all just they appear randomly. There's no particular order to them aside from certain things you do in Pribyslavitz will basically unlock them. For instance, building a certain building will unlock a certain judgment scenario for you to go through. And so, for instance, the first case we're going to show here, it's going to be deciding the fate of a cow, who gets to keep it. And this one is really not too important, as no matter which no matter what you choose to do in this case, as far as I can tell, there is no effect at all from it. Okay, so now the second case. In this one, you're basically going to decide where people can take a shit out here in the woods. I wonder if your judgment would apply to the Pope should he ever come visit. But anyway, there's 3 options that go into this one. Option 1, you can say people can go wherever they want. You'll lose 2 population. It'll have no effect on your daily groschen. Option 2 is saying that people need to go at least 100 feet downstream. This will have no effect on population, but will give you a +5 groschen per day. And option 3 is saying they need to go at least 150 feet downstream. This will give you an additional 1 population and -5 groschen per day. Okay, so the third case we have here is this guy believes his wife tried to poison him. Again, you're going to have 3 options. Option 1, tell the guy, sober up, knock off the crap. This will have no effect on population, but it will give you +5 groschen a day. Option 2 is to banish the woman. This will cause you to lose 1 population and 10 groschen per day. And then option 3 is to say, handle your own business. And if you choose that, there's no effect on population or income. Next up, case 4. This will be a one of your woodcutters will approach you after you've more or less built everything in the village, and he's going to ask you what they should do with all the timber that's piling up. You're going to have 3 options. Number 1, you can let the woodcutters go. This will cause you to lose 10 population, but it'll also cancel out the cost of the woodcutters camp, basically giving you a positive 150 groschen a day. Option 2 is to sell the excess, which will have no effect on population, and it will have an effect of an additional 180 groschen per day, which will make the woodcutters camp profitable. Option 3 is to stockpile it, which will have no effect on population or income. And judgment number 5, you're going to be approached by Marius, who asks you to decide the fate of poachers in the village. You have 3 options. 1 being let them go, do their own thing. This will have no effect on population, and it will generate 30 groschen per day. Option 2 is to go have a word with the poachers, give them a warning, so to speak. This will give you 1 additional population, and you will lose 10 groschen per day. Option 3 is to basically punish them to the fullest extent, and with this option you will lose 1 population and gain 40 groschen per day.
Master Bailiff,
Now for the sixth judgment here, I'm going to kind of throw an additional one in. They're very related. If you build the bakery, you will have a baker, who asks to join, and you have 3 ways of telling him not to join, or you can hire him. There's absolutely no effect to any of these choices unless you hire him. If you hire him, you will gain 75 groschen per day. Now, once you have hired him, if you have hired him, there will be another problem that arises, and that will be people complaining about the bread not being the right size, even though its weight is correct. And in this case, you will have 4 options with different outcomes. Option 1 is to tell them to bake bigger loaves. This will give you 3 additional population and cost you 40 groschen per day. Second option would be to make black bread, which I guess is just kind of subpar grain used. This will have no effect on population, but will generate 30 groschen per day. Option 3 is to build municipal scales. This will give you 2 additional population and 20 groschen per day. Option 4 is to do nothing. This will cause you to lose 2 population and gain 50 groschen per day. Okay, judgment number 7 that I have here is going to be regarding a village herbalist or witch, depending on what you choose. You're going to have 4 options in this judgment.
I'm not going to waste my time on such nonsense.
And the first option is just before even going through all the dialogue options, you can say, hey, I'm not wasting my time on this. This will give you 2 population, 30 groschen a day. Second option, or really, if you go through all the dialogue, you're going to have 3 actual judgment or rulings to choose. You can say it's nothing serious. This will have the same effect as just throwing the case out. We'll give you 2 population, 30 groschen a day. Also, you can say this this woman that brought the problem before you, tell her she's just envious. This will have the same effect still, giving you 2 population and 30 groschen a day. And then the final option, which is the only other option, is basically to exile this herbalist, call her a witch, that sort of thing. This will give you 1 population and 45 groschen per day. So there's really only 2 potential outcomes to this. Either you keep the herbalist, or you banish the herbalist. You keep her, you get 2 population and 30 groschen a day. You banish her, you get 1 population and 45 groschen per day. Okay, this is going to be the 9th case. It's Marius will approach you telling you he's got some bad news. Your supply of grain was robbed by humans, bandits, whatever, on its way to the village. And now you have to decide how to get more. You are given 2 options. Option 1 being you can requisition it, basically take it from the laborers' camp. These guys bought it themselves, they won't be happy about it. The effect this will have is it will cost you 2 population and have no effect on your income. The second option is to purchase another shipment. The only effect that I could see this would have is it would just be an initial cost. You pay 500 groschen out of pocket, and that's it. There's no effect on population or on daily income. Now the final judgment that I've got here is a veteran will approach you and tell you that there's not enough guards in this town, and you're gonna have 4 options here, and this is either gonna cost you population or or it's going to cost you income. Option 1 is to give him nobody. If you choose this, you will lose 2 population. Option 2 is to give him some of the woodcutters. This will cost you 10 groschen per day. Option 3 is to give him some laborers. This will also cost you 10 groschen per day. And option 4 is to give him both woodcutters and laborers, and this will cost you a total of 20 groschen per day. Now, depending on what you choose, this will also have ambient world effects. If you do give him more troops, you're going to see an increased number of troops in the village after that. Especially if you've built the guardhouse where they all tend to hang out, you'll see quite a few more just hanging out doing their thing at the guardhouse. Don't make me try to squeeze through this window. Alright guys, that's going to be it for now. Look in the future for obviously another video with more judgments in it, because I do believe there are more judgments that come with when you start recruiting people into the village, which I haven't done yet. So I will be doing a video on recruiting people, and then at that point I might be able to do a couple more judgments to go ahead and show you that. So if you found it helpful, like, subscribe, do your thing. Once again, it's Badger. Thanks for watching. See you next time.